Y'all, boy, I tell you, quiet time with the Lord paid off. Y'all see my hair? Oh my God. Y'all, oh my God. You know what, people is a trip. People is a trip. I'm watching this girl on TikTok and she on YouTube too. And a lot of what she said makes sense. I mean, she cuss worse than me. But last stuff she said make a world of sense. And I started thinking, I said, you know what? She right about the baby boomer generation and about how my parents, mainly my mother, did not, well, my parents was married, but they did not get me proper diagnosis because of their image. And you know, I was born and raised Jehovah's Witness on both sides of my family. Born into Jehovah's Witness. So that was another thing. But did not get proper diagnosis. I'm thinking back all the way from elementary school through college, through high school, middle school, all that. I got Asperger's. I got the same thing my oldest son got, Joshua got. And I did not get treated. That I should have been in special ed class or special need, special ed. I should have been on the magic school bus. I should have been on the school bus like my son Joshua. Y'all, here I'm raising a special needs son and I'm special needs. Now I knew I had epilepsy and I started since I was 4 years old, since I was molested at 4. And that's a whole nother backstory. My mom blamed me for that. Y'all, blame a 4-year-old child. A 4-year-old child, even now. Now I'm 55 and she still blames me. Y'all, but now I'm looking at everything and looking at all the men and all the neighbors and all my children's fathers. Looking at everything. They knew. That's like messing with, just because I'm not, like severely like disabled, where you can see the disability. Just because I got an invisible disability, y'all. And my son, Christian, got autism. Was diagnosed with autism. Y'all. And my son, Joshua, got ADHD. And my sister got adult ADHD. Y'all, my mother would run her mouth and say that it was mental illness. No, those things are not mental illnesses. Y'all, epilepsy and Asperger's and ADHD and autism. Y'all, it all makes sense. That's why I couldn't it was hard for me to form friendships, and that's why people took advantage. They said, well, long as she got a, you know what, got a vagina and she she got the body parts of her, what we gonna do whatever we want to do to her. And folk like that supposed to have a caretaker with them all the time. They supposed to teach them how to transition, how to live independently. None of that was done. None of that. I was thrown out on the street. Thrown out on the streets. So my parents, it was a cause and effect. They caused their grandkids to be in the foster care. They caused all that. Mainly my mother. That's a whole nother story too. Y'all. A lot of it ain't even no religion. It's not a lot of it ain't no sin. It ain't no religious thing. It ain't no generational cursing. It's when it's that generation, that baby boomer generation. Because I remember being treated like Cinderella, being treated like a stepchild, having chores and stuff, y'all. At 4 or 5 years old, slave, being treated like being treated like I wasn't. Being treated like I didn't belong. Y'all. And that kind of abuse is intentional. It's strategic and it's intentional because my mother is still like that. She's 70. She'll be 75 years old next month. Next month she'll be 75, and my father turned 78 December. And both of them like that. Now it makes sense. All that time I'm blaming myself. You can't blame yourself for being born with a disability. I'm looking it up. Asperger's is inherited, is genetic, y'all, hereditary. And I used to wonder, think, why the Lord giving me these disabled children, these special need kids? And I would teach my oldest son, Joshua, say, you special, not because I would teach him to not feel like he's entitled to anything, because he will always get gifts and stuff from the hospitals. And I would teach him at a young age. I was like Forrest Gump mother. Y'all, the whole thing, even with the IQ, the whole thing, getting tested with low IQ, but being smart. They say people with those disabilities are highly intelligent. They creative beings. They're very creative. And I used to want, I was talented, gifted at a young age, with singing and arts and crafts and, dancing, ballet and tap. And why my mother was so jealous, what did I do? It's like nothing I did satisfied her. And to be set up it's like you set up to fail. Y'all, but you know what I'm learning? Now I'm learning to forgive all those people. For all forgive them for they know now what some of them niggas knew what they were doing. 90% of them knew. They knew and they didn't care. One by one, they knew. Even that explains why my own children, why my adult children treat me the way that they do. And why their fathers treat me the way that they do. And why they talk down to me. Not only do they talk down to me like I'm a kid, or like they are my mother, or they so ashamed. They so ashamed of me. Y'all, because, you know, my mother's special needs, you know. Because I ain't got the Down syndrome, or I ain't, you know, I'm not retarded, where you can actually see the disability. But their friends and their foster parents or their adopted parents, whatever, you know, they'll go to them. They'll be attached to them because they don't love me. They don't accept, you know, it don't fit they ashamed. It remind me of what's that movie? Where that girl that played in the Olympics. Remind me of her. I forgot that name. But the girl from Women That Are Loose. I think that, yeah, Women That Are Loose. Sarah played her. And Loretta something. Loretta something. I can't think. But it reminded me of that movie. Yep, it reminded me of that movie. And how somebody on the outside showed her love and inspired her to get in the Special Olympics and stuff like that. Y'all. Now it all makes sense. Even the shunning and the gaslight and the abuse that I went through in churches after the Joe Witness, in the Baptist church, in the Apostolic church, every local church around here in my childhood neighborhood that know me and know my family, know my parents, know my family. Oh, you know. And they'll make it, oh, Crystal is a whore. Oh, she promiscuous. Oh, she fast. No, tell the truth and shame. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Tell the truth and shame the devil. You put that girl out there. You put that disabled girl out there on the street and did not prepare her for life. You threw her out there for anything, anybody to do whatever. That's what you did. And everybody that was jealous, they sat back and they watched. Like, how in the world you going to expect something like that to make it on her own? It's by the grace of God. She made it 55 years. Come on now. But it's by the God's grace. Y'all. Cause y'all ain't do nothing. But Y'all, I was just thinking, I was watching the TikTok. I was watching the girl on TikTok. I was watching her video. I said, oh my God, I got Asperger's. Oh my God. Then I think about my son Joshua, say he got the Asperger's. And I used to listen to him, listen to Joshua talk about it. I was like, yeah, I'm listening to what he said. I'm like, he ain't got that. But then the way he was describing stuff and the symptoms of it, I said, you know what, wait a minute now. Let me do some research about this, and just with reading, learning this, but reading, I've had that struggle throughout school, college, as far as reading and having nightmares. I said, I seen it. I said, oh my God. Oh my God. And it fit Asperger's, fit the autism. Y'all, people, the baby boomer did not want to get help because of their image. And Gen X generation is like the lost generation. Y'all, we like the missing link. Y'all, And then when I think about living in this 2-bedroom apartment by myself, and being in subsidized housing as long as I had here, and the landlord would tell me, say, the couple of managers, they had multiple managers, and one manager said, you ain't disabled, you do this and this and that, and this and that, but the ones that know, they know how these neighbors are around here, and they know what happened to me last month, and they showed me mercy. They ain't put me out. They ain't put me out the park. They ain't put me out of here. And they ain't like, oh, no, not again. It's more like, you know what? These people around here, they know Miss Crystal is disabled, and they know that she got a kind heart, and they know she got those disabilities, and her kids they do too. And that makes sense as to why when I would go to, where your kids at? Where your kids at? Where your kids at? I used to take offense to, I used to want to fight people. When the women come to, where your kids, take offense to them. But now I'm looking at it from a different lens now. Because people know that I needed help. Yeah. Even like the way I got married, the whole thing, the whole setup, marrying somebody that's narcissistic and abusive and into drugs and smoking, doing the complete opposite. The complete opposite of what I've done. I ain't never did no smoking, no drugs, none of that, no cigarette, no nothing. The people around me did. They tried to get me messed up So what they did, it got me messed up by getting me knocked up. Got me ruined my, and you can't see the children was a mistake. I used to think that too. I said, oh my God, I used to think that too. Y'all, people that will pray, they predators. They destiny swappers. They want to block your purpose in life, block you. And know you special. Know you got, not special like special needs, but special, they know you chosen. Chosen by God. You got the favor of God on your life. God still remember you. He still got you on his mind. He's still protecting you, still providing. When your mom and father forsake you, the Lord lift you up. Even your kids, when your children forsake you. Your children, your pastor, your spouse, your husband, your neighbors. Y'all. I said, oh my God, is that's it? It all makes sense with the stuttering. I said, dang, that everything, how to budget my money, how to cook, clean, how to do this and that. My butt was learning like Forrest. My life is like Forrest. You learn as you go. I learn as I go. Survive, learn as I go. Didn't nobody teach me nothing. They ain't tell me nothing. Ain't learning. I'm learning, but I'm learning about stuff through the people that abused me, through the men that came, the men and the women that came in and out my life. I'm going to help you, That's how I learned. That's how I got, they would fix things around the apartment, fix things around the apartment, or so-called help me. And then rape me or violate me, steal from me, physically, mentally, spiritually, that kind of thing. Y'all, and God gonna get all of them. He gonna get all of them. All of them. All of them. Sitting up with me, sitting up, whether they knew what they was doing or they didn't know. The whole thing, I'm thinking about all of it. The whole thing, being in Job Corps, being homeless, everything. How in the world you can live your life knowing it? Must not got no conscience. Must not got no God-given conscience. Y'all, all right, let me get off here. I just had to drop that down. I just make a video about that. Because I'm trying to stay off of social media and fast and stay to myself. I'm already is to myself, but to really do it. Y'all. Now it makes sense. It didn't make no sense because I'm up there thinking, I'm angry at God. I'm angry at everybody. Angry at myself. Angry at the people. and didn't understand why it was happening with my dumb, slow tail self. My naive self. That don't make you stupid. That make them stupid. That make them stupid for doing what they doing. And they figured, well, the person before me did it, I can do it too. And that person did it before. And the person before that. And your children is the proof that somebody else done hit it and quit it. That's your proof. Somebody else done got it. 6 kids, damn. 6, damn. Y'all. And to be taught down to when they was having sex while they were doing, and to be forced to do certain acts, and you knew this ain't feel, this don't feel right, this is not right, this is not me. Some of them would actually stop. They would stop right in the middle and say, I can't. Some of them keep on. They keep on. Y'all, the trauma, y'all. That's one thing I'm thinking. I'm thinking too. A lot of these churches don't have ADA disability. They don't have accommodations. It's like when I was in the court, I was going in and out of court for the kids with CPS for years, and they don't. Let's cut the bull crap. They don't have proper accommodations, or they violate disability rights when it comes to your parental rights. If you got a disability, the parent is disabled, and then you have children that's disabled, they already violate your constitutional rights in the family court, let alone disability rights. That's out the window. So it's the same thing in these churches. They'll have a ramp for the wheelchair. Some of them do. Some of them. But what about those? What about having special services for having? What about having accommodations for those in a church that have ADHD and stuff like that with invisible disabilities? They may not be blind and or blind or deaf or need sign language, all that, but you got people in there that need accommodations in the church. They need to be treated fairly. They need to be treated like God's sheep or God's people. Because I remember with both of my sons, Joshua and Malachi, they had sensitivity to noise. Sensitivity to noise, and they would lay on the floor in the church. And I said, leave them alone. People should be messing with me or whatever. I said, leave them alone. They would feel the vibrations of the sound on the floor. Long as I moved everything away, the blankets and stuff, that and both of them going to Kennedy Krieger, y'all. And I was in Kennedy, well, it wasn't Kennedy Krieger, but in the 70s and the 80s, it was John F. Kennedy Institute. When I was going in, when I had epilepsy. I had epilepsy from age 7 to 12. Y'all. And now looking back, my mother was picking and choosing. Just because you take a child to she's pick and choose what disability she was getting me help for, and then she wasn't there. It's something as epilepsy, and I'm having shakes and grandma seizures and stuff, and I had to get medicine, seizure medicine. That's something that she couldn't put under the rug, because I'm having seizures in the school. Epilepsy, falling down steps, and epilepsy in the school. So that's something that she couldn't hide. She couldn't cover up and hide. But everything else, I'm sure, now looking back, I'm sure that the teachers and the people taught Joan, you need to get Crystal, you need to get her test. No, I ain't gonna do that. She ain't do that because she had another man cheating on my father. She was worried about that. More worried about that, concerned with that, and cheating on my father with another man, and had my sister cover that crap up, cover that up for years, y'all. The whole thing. Like, who are you gonna pick? Disabled Crystal that you don't really want by a man that you pressured them. Y'all got murdered, and you pressured them to marry him for whatever reason. For whatever reason. And both of y'all guilty. Both of y'all guilty. Not being there. Man, and that's what happened to me. With the children's father dropping the ball, said, why should I be there? For what? I even heard women say that her own family don't care about her. Her own family don't care about her. Her parents don't care about her. So why should you? Y'all, yeah, be careful. A lot of these men that come in your life, their mothers is narcissistic, and they hate you. They see something in you that they not. And they like the person. They like the person that son is with, because the son ain't with just you. That man is with multiple other women. He ain't just with you, just with you. And you just by shit that got knocked up by that's why it's rape. My middle son said, you don't know what rape is. He knew. He knew. He knew. Rather I don't. Rather he claimed that I don't know what rape is, legal or whatever. But he knew. He knew. He had no business mess with somebody like me. Somebody like that. If you ain't going to help the person, if you're not going to help them, stay out their way. If you coming to your sister and your family, and you know what your background is. That's why you kept coming back and forth, and I'll come back and forth. Call me his F-buddy, going back and forth, and going to different women, going back and forth, while I was going back and forth, and he did what he did to my son, to Joshua. And that's why his sister wound up taking my husband, my legal husband, and our daughter. My youngest daughter and my middle son. Y'all, I think that was, I can't say that's out of guilt. That wasn't nothing but for money. That's all what that was. Because of what my oldest son was saying. How she was, how the middle son's father physically abused him. And I didn't know about it till years later. Y'all, Y'all, Y'all. That's what it pays to have quiet time. Even Jesus did that. He went alone with the Father. He went to quiet, secret places with the Father. When people think when they leave you alone and stuff like that by yourself, oh, that you a social reject. No, that is protection. That is isolation right there is God's protection. Being alone like that make you think on God be talking you and telling you stuff. Where you special needs, where you whatever you is, disabled, handicapped, whatever you is, God be telling you stuff clear, telling you things more clear. You be like, why in the world? Why in the world? My daughters hate me so much. Why they resent? Why they came after me the way they did? And say the stuff that they do. You know why? Because the fact that their fathers, both of their fathers targeted you and used you, and they knew that you was disabled. They knew you was slow. Let's keep that real. And then you were slow. You smart, but you slow. You got, and you by yourself, you need help. And they knew it. So, okay, we can't come against these worldly men. One was in the church with a wolf in sheep's clothing. And the other one had enough. They both had other women, and they both knew each other. They both knew each other, and they lived around the corner from each other. And you ain't know about, and they knew they were in the same company, and they knew each other. And one lived right up the street from each other. Y'all, they were like, I know this little girl, she young, and then go over there and hit it, man. Who you talking about? Oh, yeah, and they described me. You know what? The same way. That's the same way I met my middle son's father. The same way. They don't want you while you young and stuff. They don't want you thinking actually putting all the pieces of the puzzle together. And their children, because their kids don't, and they go around and they'll use the children that they left you with. And the daughters come back out of the foster kids. They come back and they ready, aim, fire. We coming at the Crystal. Y'all, it's to the point where, I don't even, I'm to the point where I don't keep rehashing it. Just like that guy that did what we did last month. I don't, keep thinking about it over and over and over, thinking about it over and over. Y'all, that's a dangerous place to be. It's sad when you think about it. It's really sad. That is sad, and it's dangerous. It's a dangerous place on their end, where you gotta take advantage. You gotta violate and take advantage of, or you gotta abuse that person. You gotta exploit and abuse that person. That is dangerous. That's sad, and it's desperate. It make it seem like you the one that's desperate. Thank you, Jesus. Why don't they pick with somebody on their own sides? You're gonna pick on somebody, pick on somebody that you know that's weak, vulnerable. That's not your own, your own. Why are you picking somebody your own size, demon? That person don't even get to know themselves. They don't know who they is. They've been told different things by Jehovah's Witness. It didn't by the church. It didn't by different people. You learn it. You learn, told different things, different identity. Y'all, and you messing with them. And then on top of that, they got Asperger's, ADHD, autism, and you messing with them. Forcing stuff, sexual acts, porn, you doing all kinds of stuff to them. You bringing stuff in their home, and they homeless. They homeless because their mother threw them out on the street because they ain't what, that stands for so. We throw them, but you remember Mash's ham commercial? That stands for so. We throw that away. That stands for special needs. We gonna throw Crystal away. Y'all. And then on top, then the problem out when I find out that my mother killed my cat's kittens. Had I known that, I don't care disabled or not, my tail would have got the hell out of it. I would have bawled out of there. I said, you know what? I'm not safe. I need help. I don't never want to go back there. I don't want to be around both parents. Y'all teach me something. Teach me how to get my own place, whatever. Whatever. Teach me, because I was a virgin back then. 15. My mother beat me up, beat my face on the bunk bed, and that's the same. I'm figuring it out that she did that when I was in high school, in the 10th grade. Come on now. Man, half sister, no half sister, I would have got me. That's before I had kids, or before what happened to me happened. Y'all, you give, like what that guy did, my neighbor did. I don't play that record over and over. I don't rehearse what happened. The first couple of weeks, I was in shock. Like, oh my God, this happened to me again. Oh my God. Yeah, Now it's like 6 weeks later, and it's like, okay, And I pray for him. I pray for him I still pray for him every day. It's things I ain't telling nobody. I ain't telling nobody. I'm taking it to my grave. Disabled, whatever. Disabled Crystal, whatever. Y'all. It get like that, You like, is this why I stopped making those care packets in them blessing bags and stuff? I was doing that for a while. Then I stopped. Then some said, don't you do that no more, and don't do that around here, because they not gonna appreciate it. Don't you do that. You need to stop doing stuff, doing random extra kindness for other people, and you ain't doing nothing for yourself. They looking at you funny, like, what this retarded lady, what's she doing? They asked me, what this from? Y'all, like I'm one of the Salvation Army men, Santa Claus, you know. Like I'm one of them, like one of them, what's called special Olympics people. Y'all, and you gotta be careful. And one thing I'm learning too is people be holding me. I'm real sensitive to touch. Now it's like that is a different type of sensitivity. It ain't just a sexual thing. It's not that kind of fear or now I'm thinking it's the Asperger's. That's just, you know, you don't want to be touched. You don't want to be around certain crowds and smells and stuff. Smells and touches. It triggers it. I thought something was wrong. I thought I was crazy. And my oldest daughter, oh yeah, she found me all around the apartment. Even with that incident, y'all, even that makes sense. You dealing with demons or strongholds like that, and you got disabilities like that. It's okay to say no. It's okay. It's okay. You always want to be people please. You want people to like you. Want people to accept you. You want to make friends. I want you to be friends. I want you to like me. Like me as your mommy. I want you to like me as your wife. I want you to like me as your neighbor. I want you to like me as your member of the church. Y'all. And you learning how to even like yourself, learning how to love. Cause you ain't never been reading the Bible. How can you read the Bible that you can't read? You can read it, but do you understand it? It takes you an extra long time to read it, even when you read it out loud. I didn't tell my youngest daughter she get into it with me about reading the Bible. Y'all, I told my oldest son, everybody learn differently. You know, thank God for audio Bibles. Thank God for movies, Bible movies. Y'all, I had that problem in Sunday school, in school, throughout school. Had to get tutors and stuff. You know, and college professors that would go that extra mile to help me. So, oh, she's smart, but she learning different ways. And now I'm thinking back, you know, That's why I quit. That's why I quit college. I ain't get my degree. It wasn't because I had my oldest daughter. It wasn't it. Because I didn't have the support. I didn't have me being disabled. And then I'm raising a special. My son Josh was special needs, and then I had my oldest daughter by a guy, by a neighbor around here that lived around here, and he knew y'all. Him ain't okay. Y'all, I ain't finished school. I ain't finished college. That was hard. That wasn't like a normal single parent. You know, like a regular single parent. It's even hard with being a single parent. That by itself is hard. And then you got a special needs child already, and you disabled, and you special needs. Make that work, y'all. And you ain't no family, no support. The children, you got 2 kids now. 2 children, a boy and a girl. 2 kids. By yourself. Raising them. By yourself. Just the one child before the second child was enough. But no, these a-holes, like, oh, you know what? We ain't paying that. We ain't paying. That's like the devil. Ain't it the devil? We ain't paying the little boy no mind. We gonna invade. We gonna destroy that family. 2 light-skinned niggas. We gonna... I'm making jokes about it now, but we gonna come and attack. It's 2 light-skinned niggas. One the little baby and one the woman. Young woman. We gonna get them while they young. We gonna attack we gonna destroy that little piece of family while they young. In the hood, in the ghetto, in East Baltimore. We gonna get them while they young. Ignore it. We ain't going through no grandparents. We ain't going through the crystal parents. We ain't asking a father hand in my. We ain't doing none of that. She by herself. We gonna creep in there like snakes, and we gonna mess her up. Divide and conquer like the devil. Might not have been their intention, but that's what they did. Let's play the devil's advocate. Y'all. Y'all. And both of my daughters said, I ain't gonna let you talk about my dad like that. When you talking, you know what it is? I'm not gonna let your special need, I don't let your slow tail, you talk about my dad like that. You ain't nobody, Crystal. You ain't nothing. You ain't nobody. How dare you even part your lips to talk about my dad? I'm really talking about myself at the same time. I'm talking about myself at the same time. Y'all. Y'all. Mm. I still be walking around the neighborhood, walking around here, and I be like, oh my God, cause before what happened to me last month, before he was found me, hey Crystal, you on your way to church? I said, yep. I'm gonna go to church with you. I'm gonna go with you. Yeah, right. I'm a Joe Witness too. I got baptized Joe Witness. Y'all. How in the world you baptized Jehovah Witness, and they don't allow none of the stuff that you doing? And our people can say, you know, you ain't had no business walking around with him, and you married, you separated, and you married, but you still legally married. Y'all, when you dealing with a stalker, you got stalkers. Let's call it what it is. They stalking. They done burglarized your home without even going. They were doing that without even physically getting inside your house. They done burglarized. They done assess. They done case your place, case your whereabouts, and case you, size you up before they even physically did, spiritually and physically did what they did to you. Y'all, they thought I was really stupid. Asperger's, all that and all. And try to get me to be suicidal. Try to get me to kill myself. Try to get me, try this, try that. Nope. You know, y'all try to get me be suicidal and take my life. Yup. Like, how in the world we did it? I know what we did. And they talking about it. They talk about it to each other. You ever been in a room, been in a church, you be in a crowd, soon as you go in the room, they get all quiet. And you know they talking about you. Or the whole atmosphere shift soon as you get in there. Or like when you see the person that's doing what they doing, plotting and planning. You don't realize that's what they doing. That you don't realize at the time that's what they doing. But you notice their behavior. They love bomb you. They fake love bomb, or their whole thing change up when you enter a room or you enter a area, a certain area, or you near them. You be minding your damn business. You minding your business. Y'all, I'm helping somebody with this. I don't know how. I know I'm gonna get some feedback. People gonna say some stuff. I know it. I just know it. I'm gonna get it, y'all. But I'm like what Chris, the life coach, said. I've been watching him for this past. I've been watching him a lot, regular on a regular now. His channel has really been helping me to heal and recover for all the stuff that I'm talking about. It's helping me to heal up. Y'all, I don't know what I should do. Should I do I think I said this before on my channel, have a support group for people. Now I'm thinking have a support like what my son doing on his Twitch. You know, with Asperger's and ADHD and stuff. Y'all, and then with my TikTok videos and stuff like that, I'm like, you know, I need to slow down and get some rest from that. Get some rest with that. But I'm thinking now I need to narrow down. I think I need to narrow down things on my platform or the subjects and stuff that I'm talking about, because I just be rambling on, you know, I just be venting and rambling, you know, and whatever that comes to my mind, I just post whatever that comes to my mind. I post it if I think it's going to help me or help somebody else. I'll post it. But I think I need to narrow it down. Narrow it down, have some kind of support thing. I don't do lives. I don't want, man, and I got that kind of issues with that too. No. And I see how people be doing on people's lives and stuff, like, nope, that's nope. Zoom meetings and stuff, no. I was going to do that, but that require moderators and all that. No way. I don't want to deal with no moderators, none of that. It's stressful. It's stressful just just hitting the 1,000 subscriber mark or on TikTok is that other things. But it's stressful. It is. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how in the world they deal with that. I don't know how they do it. Whether it's monetized or money, ain't no money in the world gonna motivate. That don't motivate me to make no videos or to do lives and stuff. No, that kind of aggravation. No. So y'all pray for me. I'm gonna need some way to have some kind of support group or something. God tell me what to do. Some kind of something that's easy and it protects privacy too. So I don't want to give my cell phone number out either. I don't want to do that. That's how that fool did what he did. You give people an inch, they take a daggone mile. And they take a whole mile. How he get your number? Y'all, you can't even get, you can't trust the devils like that. Don't give them your phone number. I don't care who it is. You reaching out, you reaching out, oh, my brother died. Why you don't call me? Da, 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 da. I still got feelings. I still care about you. You know good. You know good. You know what? You gotta be careful. You gotta be. That's sad. That's sad. Like what you call Christopher, a life coach said, you got no contact them. You got to do more than no contact them. You got to no contact them and protect your life. Protect your spirit. You don't want to be no social reject. You're not a social reject, but you don't want, no man is an island and all that stuff. You want friends, you want a social outlet, social life. You gotta trust God. In that kind of situation, people like us, they got invisible disabilities. We some unique people. It's like we born to die. Like Jesus. Jesus was born to sacrifice his life. Like we born chosen. We born to be outcasts. Y'all. Y'all chosen but outcasted. Chosen but set apart, separate. Y'all, we done tried and try to fit in, and you ain't gonna never fit in. It ain't got nothing to do with no disability. It's the favor of God. And a disability is just it's like Paul, the Pastor Paul, kept praying and praying. God, take the thorn out that thorn out his flesh, and God said, "My grace is sufficient." Y'all, let's keep that. But you like bump that. My grace is sufficient. You like my butt tired. I'm sick of this. This thorn. I've been dealing with this thorn all my damn life. My grace is sufficient. Are you sure, man? Man, oh man. Is you gotta be kidding me, Lord. I'm getting tired of this. Let me get off of here. Cause I gotta get up tomorrow. I gotta get up tomorrow and I gotta go to this the store, get some groceries, some food in this house, in the refrigerator. Yeah. Okay. Talk to y'all later. Be blessed.